different
So that not only this breath work, if you do it a couple times in the morning, at night, it increases your testosterone, but it also lets you to be more calm. So it's one long inhale, one sharp one after that. So you breathe in as much as you can, wait a second, and breathe in sharply after that, and then let it out slowly through your mouth.
Wait, how does it increase your testosterone?
I don't know. It's just like Andrew Huberman said it, and Hamza already said it as well. It's a way to, when you're more calm, right? There's more room for testosterone when you're more calm. When your cortisol is up, when you're more alert, testosterone gets lowered. So when you are more calm, testosterone, there's more room for testosterone.
And when you're less stressed because you have less toxins in your body.
I
Exactly.
want to speak on that part where you said people are not mindful enough. Like, yes, the breath work is great. I just want to say for the meditation, like, I think people do forget that they didn't just jerk off just because they jerked off. Like, there was something that stemmed it before, and people never even contemplate what it is, what gets them aroused in the first place. Like you said, probably the best example, probably the most common is Instagram, for sure. But for every single person, guys, that if you can't fucking stop watching porn, if you can stop what gets you to get on that app, and again, you can't always control your horniness. You'll get horny no matter what. That's innate.
You'll have desire.
Body. But if you can find what stems from, what first causes it, I'll tell you what, you'll be a lot better off. And that's a fucking fact.
For example, a lot of the time, it was not feeling loved. I didn't feel loved by anything or anyone, and so I'd go on Pornhub thinking, like, this is love. Lust is love. I used to be, like, so confused and stuff. I'd go on there and think that that was a thing. But until I did some meditation, I did more reflection. I did more journaling. I did more inner work about myself. I healed from that. And I love myself. And when you have love for yourself, you're more inclined to not watch porn.
Yeah.
Number 2 is a mix
That's
of...
just one.
Hold on.
That's just one.
Yeah.
Number 2, we have written down purpose. Now, the reason we wrote down purpose is because when you find your purpose, all of a sudden you become a lot more busy and you become a lot more productive. Mm-hmm. And when you're productive with your time, you're not gonna even have a chance to fucking go ahead and try to kill yourself with this bullshit.
The thing is, though, like, I don't want to say find your purpose to escape from it. Find purpose because your purpose is bigger than this little thing that you are struggling with. Because let's not try to escape from the problem. Let's try to
face the problem.
Face it, and find something bigger than it. Something that crushes it completely.
Yeah.
So what happened when you found your purpose, Josh?
Oh, yeah, thank you. I was going to share my story. I don't want to just say find your purpose, guys. Not give you a way how to do it. For me, obviously it's going to vary on everyone. But for me, what worked is I spent 2 days, 2.5 days technically, where I dedicated my gym time. Whatever you do as your kind of escape. I realized that the gym is kind of my escape, necessarily where I kind of cool down, and that's where I just enjoy myself. Yeah, my checkpoint. So that is for me, and luckily it takes some time. So I spent 2 days where I listened no music, and I just contemplated every single little thing in my life. And what I mean by that is, why do I go to the gym? Well, there's a deeper answer to that than all of us think. We just, I just want to have a good body. Dude,
why do you want a good body?
It is not just because of that. There is something deeper that you may not be conscious of it, but it's there. And you kind of connect the pieces. What I did is, okay, why am I in college? Why? And then once I kind of realized, I'm not going to really necessarily share my purpose right now, I realized everything's interconnected. And that is for everybody. I can fucking promise you that. Everything you do is interconnected for one simple reason, whether it's from your childhood or something. I figured it out that way. It took 2.5 days. And to answer your question, the day I did figure it out, I'm a pretty jacked dude, but I'm not going to get into that. I did a machine and I broke it. I'm a full believer that when you find your purpose, you're more powerful. That was exactly what I found out.
And he still has it as like a trophy in his room.
I can actually pull it up if you want.
So we'll probably put up a picture or something.
Yeah.
Let's spend time leveling up and not worrying about these little things like porn. Because honestly, like what I've been doing recently is I just forgot about it. I forgot about doing that type of stuff. I just started worrying about leveling up, finding my purpose, working on it, working on myself, and being more busy and productive. And that really allowed me to get away from it, not escape from it, but kind of understand it. It's
There's
little.
something more to it.
It just doesn't control me anymore. Those things do not control me. I control it, I guess, in a sense, right?
Yeah.
But finding your purpose is really so important. How you can find your purpose, right, is what do you want? Like Josh said, why do you do things? What do you want and why? constantly go through that on like a journal. When you go in journal, when you sit down alone with yourself, really spend time alone and figure out what do you actually want and why do you want it, and then just go out
And
and
is
get
that
it.
a valid reason why you want it?
Exactly.
Say like if you're working out and you want to impress people on how you look, is that a valid reason, or should it be more of your health and the way you feel
Well, that's
working
not
out?
valid. What deeper inside you care what others think. I mean, that's all I'm telling you. Everything has a deeper.
Yeah, no, I understand, but then you have to understand: is it valid? Is it enough reason?
Oh,
To
okay.
keep going.
I see.
Is it healthy?
Because then it's gonna lead you down to a different path, just to impress others. But in reality,
Bada bing, bada
it's not
bong.
really what you want.
And I can promise you to everyone that watching porn has nothing to do with your purpose. Get that shit out of there.
Right.
Exactly. You are so much bigger.
I've
than
actually heard
that.
someone argue that before.
What the
that
fuck?
it is. I know.
Are you serious?
That's some brain dead shit, bro.
Yeah, that's probably.
Anyways,
You have to
Met-
find tons of reasons on why,
They
how
probably
it's
had
fucking
100
awful.
dicks. They probably.
yeah, they're marketing. Anyway, number 3, God and spirituality. Well, one of you two to take
Yeah,
this
you
one
two
away.
guys got it.
All right, I'll
All
share
yours.
my story because
Mhm.
God personally helped me with overcoming pornography, because I read Bible and I listen to podcasts, lectures, stories of how God has changed people's lives from dark place to a more positive one and helped them through a lot of things. This how it helped me too, because I know that God holds me accountable and wants good stuff for me and doesn't want me to sin. Right? Because sin is bad and jerking off is sin, because what you're doing is you are selfish. You're not thinking to be productive. You're not thinking, okay, how can I do something that is productive, not only going to help me, but will help other people. So me putting in, say, 20 minutes or that 1 hour into a productive work that I know will shape my future into a better thing that will also influence and help other people, would I rather do that or spend 1 hour of being selfish and all I want to do is, raise my dopamine and make myself feel like, oh my God, I feel good and I feel pleasurable. Like, you have to pick and choose, and sometimes you have to go as deep as, what do you really want out of life? Why are you spending those 1 hour each day, say, that's going to add up to so many hours of your life doing mindless stuff like that, when you can do so much more for yourself and for other people to make your family proud instead of being a fucking loser in the bathroom and jerking off that you won't even admit to anybody.
That's a
You
huge
will
thing
never
part of it.
admit
Yeah,
that
dude.
to
You, like,
anybody.
this is some shit you're literally ashamed to fucking admit.
Yeah.
If your mom walked through the door while you're watching porn, you would turn it off immediately.
Right.
Why the fuck is that a good thing?
And you
for
have to live with that for the rest of your life, that your mom knows that you were doing such thing. And it makes everything so awkward and shameful and bad.
It's like you jerk off and then you go downstairs to eat with your parents and like you feel all grimy and shit. You know what I
'Cause you
mean?
know
have
what
like
you
you
did.
you have this like aura of shame
Right.
when you go downstairs because energy, spirituality is real. When you feel ashamed, it's the lowest vibration you could possibly feel. And after you nut, you feel so ashamed. I've had a story when I literally felt I was watching porn, right? It was late at night. Everything's dark in my room. I jerked off, I nutted, whatever. And I wasted so much time. And at the time, I was trying to get closer to God. And after the fact, I was like, God, like I was just crying. I was crying after because I was like, why do I do this to myself? I was so ashamed of myself. And I said, I literally just I talked to God. I was like, listen, like, I need your help. Please help me with this. I can't do it without you. And the next morning, next couple of days, I didn't really feel as much lust as I did before. Like it was kind of like wiped away from me. I felt clean. And I definitely feel like getting closer to God, being more spiritual, will allow you to run away from these lustful, these fleshly desires that we do have.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Hold on. There's this.
Go ahead.
There's this like I'm in this like Discord group and they talk about NoFap in there. Like they talk about a bunch of stuff, but they're really spiritual in there. And I want to read like one of the guys said in there about spirituality and sex and semen and stuff like that. So fuck you. All right. All right. He said, sex is the foundation of the universe. Without it, nothing can exist. And those who've entered the deeper forces of occultism know the kundalini is a serpent force which lies curled up at the base of the spine. It's really the sex force. The word tantra is Sanskrit and means a continuum of unbroken stream of energy. what the fuck does that even mean, right?
Yeah, I was lost. I don't even
Right?
know what a
The
bunch
thing
of
is,
those
though,
words mean.
Like when it comes to God and spirituality, it goes so much deeper than we think. It is our bodies, our sex. We can literally create life out of our balls.
Right.
It's crazy to think about, and we just like to just do it into our pillow, into our sheets, into our fucking hand,
Right.
shamefully,
Sheets is crazy.
right? So, when choosing to release and overall in general, we must be conscious of the spiritual aspects when having sex. What kind of energy and consciousness does your partner have when having sex? Are they happy, bitter, sad? The energy and emotion can and will be exchanged. Are they a blessing or a curse? Does your partner love you, or are they draining your life force? Are you recharging, refueling, reheating your spirit? Have you ever slept with a partner and felt like you've been like your negative energy has been extracted? It's because you did. We must be conscious of our actions regardless of how we direct them. Spirituality
That's strong.
goes so much deeper than we really think it is. And if you're a beginner in going into self-improvement, spirituality is something that you can really get into. Like you can learn more about God, maybe purchase a Bible if you want to just read about God. He talks about lust, talks about fleshly desires and stuff like that. So the closer you are spiritually, the more inclined you will to not do that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yo, there's another thing I want to share with how I personally, what forced me to kind of stop doing it is I paid attention to my actions and I was lying more, right? So I'll get to it why. So if I did something that I was ashamed of, but then somebody asked me, or like, say, why were you in the shower for so long? Or why were you in the room locked in by yourself for so long, right? Then it forces me to lie, right? I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, I was jerking off, because it's not something I'm proud of. So now it forces me to lie about something. I don't want to, and you do not want to lie about something, right? Plus, with how I mentioned with God and stuff, it's a sin, and I would not want to sin and tell a lie, because then it leads down to even a darker hole, saying you lie once and you get away with it. You do it twice, 3 times. Now it becomes a habit. Now you lie about things and think that you can get away with it, but eventually it has to stop. Somebody's gonna have to understand that you're lying, and it will be revealed, and it feels even worse, right? And like that's another thing. You don't have to do something that's gonna force you into another thing that you don't like, which is lying. Why would you want to do something to yourself that's gonna force you to lying?
Absolutely.
Find God.
Exactly.